Social media calendar helps you stay organized and keep your content marketing plan up and running. It's basically a calendar filled with a schedule for different kinds of content that you've planned for your social media channels. In this video, we'll talk about why a social media calendar is necessary and how to most effectively plan your content in your calendar. I'm Fatma from ContentStudio, and let's get started. Before planning your content, the most important thing to do is to figure out your most preferred platforms and how often are you going to post on these social channels. There is no definitive rule for how often you should post on your social channels, but recent studies show that there are optimal posting frequencies for each social channel. But it gets difficult to keep a balance between the consistency of your posting frequency and the quality of the content, which is why you need to reshare and repurpose your content. Let's talk about resharing content. Your content could be categorized into micro content and macro content. Macro content is the long-form content like articles, blogs, newsletters, and long videos. Now you can derive micro content from the macro content. Micro content is the short-form content that should be eye-catching and easily understandable. Using your macro content, you could create micro content like short videos, infographics, GIFs or images, etc. And content resharing includes sharing your best and evergreen content again and again for maximum audience outreach. After you've planned your content, the next step is to set some goals and objectives that you're going to achieve through social media. Let's say your goal is brand awareness. Now you have to write down each and every metric that's going to help you achieve brand awareness. These goals are really important because goals help you stay on track, and when you'll have definitive goals, you'll see that it's easier to track your progress and measure your success. Now that you've planned what kind of content are you going to post, where are you going to post it, and when are you going to post it? Now comes the most difficult part, which is content management. Unless you have a content planner and a content calendar, you will not be able to manage your content as efficiently as required. One of the many purposes of managing your content through a content calendar is to manage your team members. So while you're creating a content calendar, make sure that it's easily accessible to all the relevant team members. So it's easy for you to divide your tasks and overview each team member's contribution toward the campaign. One more thing that you should keep in your mind is that social changes every day. And if you plan too far ahead, there is a possibility that your content may not get the recognition because it's outdated. So even if you have planned it for 6 months or a year, before posting it, you need to check all the current and viral trends so that when you're talking about something or when you're posting something, people can relate to you and your content helps them with their current needs and problems. Creating and filling your content calendar doesn't mean that you have to add everything bit by bit in its final form. The idea is to add general information that gives the crux about your plan for the month. Your calendar also includes all the planned campaigns for that duration of time, influencer outreach, and all the product and feature launches that you have planned. If you want to get in touch with the top influencers in your industry, watch our next video to learn how to find Instagram and Twitter influencers using ContentStudio. Earlier, we talked about the goals and the metrics that you set to track your performance. Same is the case with the content calendar. You set the goals that you need to achieve by the end of the week, a month, or a year. And then at the end of the planned time, you see your calendar to check the things that you've done and the things that are still pending. Separate your daily posts by network, type, and the topic of the content that you're posting. That will help you segregate your daily posts from all the other important events that you've created in your content marketing plan. Using ContentStudio, you can segregate and plan different types of posts using content categories. Simply go to your profile settings and go to content categories. Now you have to create new categories for every kind of campaigns and promotions. These categories are color-coded so that you can differentiate between different campaigns. Now you can also add the social channels for which you've created this category. Let's say you've selected Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram for sharing your weekly blogs. Now all you have to do is create a weekly blog category. Select the color code for it and select all the social channels for which you're creating this category. Now the next thing that you can do is you can also select the time slots, as in the time when you're going to post on your selected social channels. Content categories is a really amazing feature which helps you keep your content organized and in place, and it also automates content posting as well. The next type of content is the evergreen content. The best way to increase traffic toward your site is to reshare the content that has done well in the past or you think would be the most helpful for your audience. The key to creating a successful content calendar is by dedicating some part of the month to your old but evergreen content. Create your evergreen content library and keep updating it with your best content. You can also create a category for your evergreen content library and keep adding content to it. And all your posts will be automatically shared to your social channels on the allotted time slots. Like I said earlier, social is a rapidly changing entity and it changes at a very fast pace. And if you don't keep up with the current trends, your channels will die out and nobody will bother to look at what you share. So for this, you have to take care of the existing trends on social and update your content calendar accordingly. This will help you create the most engaging and relevant content that your audience will enjoy. Lastly, while creating your social calendar, you should also take care of the social and public events that you and your team members are going to celebrate as a team. And how are you going to promote your brand via annual sales and promotions? You should plan all these events a year or at least 6 months ahead. This again will help you stay organized and you'll have all the important events that you're going to cover in the back of your mind and in your content calendar too. Now let's talk about the tools that you're going to use to create your calendar. You could use a simple Excel sheet to create a content calendar from scratch, or you could also use online templates to list down everything that's on your plan. You can upload your bulk posts to ContentStudio's automation recipe bulk uploader and create a posting plan for all your posts. We at ContentStudio and Replug use ContentStudio's planner to make our weekly and monthly content posting plans. This is a very elaborate planner that covers everything that's important about your content. From team management to viewing all your planned content, everything is covered in the planner. It has both the list view and the calendar view for you to have a bird's eye view of all your content. This elaborate planner lets you view the planned and published content for each channel. You can select the channels that you want to track and it will show you the content against it. Similarly, you can filter your posts according to the post types, status of all selected posts, the team members that initiated the post, posts for a specific label, social campaigns, and content categories. And you can also apply the date filter to view all the posts for a specific date range. So these are some of the simple and very useful tips to help you schedule and plan your content using a content calendar. I hope you guys liked the video. If you did, don't forget to share it with your friends who are frustrated with their disorganized content.